Hey guys, I don't have a video plan for today, so I'm just gonna yap at you. If this is our first time meeting, hi, I'm Adria, and this ball of fluff right next to me is Oatmeal. And yes, he is sitting on a dog bed on top of my actual bed because he's a princess. Isn't that right, Mr. Meal? It's right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's that time of year where in the morning it's like parka weather, but as soon as it hits like noon or 1 p.m., you can wear a bikini and you're fine. Hot and cold. Oatmeal's pool is at my parents' house and we went there earlier this week to swim. I was wearing a jacket when I arrived, but I very quickly took it off because it was like super hot. Just like set it down on couch next to my bag, whatever. When I got home later that evening, it was cold again. So I was like, let me put my jacket back on. As I'm doing that, I feel something crawling in my sleeve and then sharp shooting pain radiating down my arm. So naturally I scream. Oatmeal is looking over at me like I'm bothering him. I rip my jacket off and a yellow jacket falls out of the sleeve. A yellow jacket that has just stung me. A yellow jacket in my jacket. As if it wanted a children's storybook written about it. And like, I can't remember the last time I've been stung by a bee, let alone a yellow jacket. So I'm freaking out. Oatmeal is still glaring at me like I'm annoying him. So because I haven't been stung by anything in years, I'm like, what if I'm allergic? My arm is swelling. I'm itching. There's a rash. I'm like, this could be the end of me. So I call my mom 3 times. She doesn't answer. I make the mistake of Googling it. That does not ease my fears. But spoiler alert, I ended up being fine. I've just had this like little rash on my arm for the whole week that itches like crazy. It looks fine right now, but like a few days ago, it kind of like had a bullseye shape. Like there was this main little rash in the center and then just like a halo rash around it. And so then I convinced myself that this yellow jacket sting gave me Lyme's disease, which a quick Google confirmed that that's impossible. However, it did not stop me from thinking that I was the very first case of it. Again, I don't think that ended up being the case. In fact, no. So I took some deep breaths, calmed myself down, realized that I was overthinking, and I sit here before you, a survivor of a yellow jacket sting. Thank you. I know. Hold your applause. I know. I'm very brave. This is unrelated, but earlier this week, I went to go get my eyebrows threaded. I can't get my eyebrows waxed because I use a retinol serum for acne. It increases the cell turnover in your skin, which makes it very thin. So if I get my eyebrows waxed, the skin gets waxed off too. Super fun. Found that out the hard way. But threading is fine. If you don't know what threading is, I don't even know how to describe it actually. This is probably incorrect, but it's like they take like a thing of floss and then like twist it a little bit and it like rips out the hairs individually. It doesn't matter. Not important to the story. Anyways, I go with my friends. We're all getting our eyebrows threaded. I go first. The lady finishes up my eyebrows and says to me, "Chin too?" So I'm just like, sure, chin too. So she threads my chin. Didn't even realize I had chin hair, but apparently there's hair on my chinny chin chin. She finishes up my chin, looks me in the eyes and says, "Upper lip too?" In front of my friends who are crying laughing. So I say, yeah, upper lip too. So she finishes up. My entire face is red, both from embarrassment and the threading that has occurred on every inch of my face. So yeah, that was humiliating. What else has been going on? Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to preface this story by saying it is not my intention to make light of the events of 9/11. However, I found myself flying from New York to San Francisco on 9/11 this year. And as I have spoken about in great lengths, I already have a very baseline fear of flying. I had no other choice. I had to fly back on this date. It is what it is. Many people have said lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, which did nothing to calm my fears because this situation is not lightning. It is terrorism. So I was very in my head flying back on 9/11, but I was with my sister. I was like, it's going to be fine. Everything's fine. So we're on the plane about to take off. We're on the runway, literally like next in line. Our plane is about to take off. The pilot gets on the overhead and says, "Hey guys, there's a problem with our plane. So we're going to go back to the gate. We're just going to have the mechanics take a look at it. I'm sure it'll be nothing." 1 hour later, they get back on the overhead and they're like, so it's going to be a little bit longer. The issue seems to be very complex. So if you want to like get off the plane, walk around, go do that. So we're like, great, let's go hang out at the airport on 9/11. And so we're just sitting there and like every hour they're doing like this moment of silence for the victims of 9/11, which is great. Love that. The problem is they didn't tell us when the moment of silence ended. And like, a moment is a very subjective time frame, you know, like a moment could be 30 seconds, it could be a minute, it could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour. Like they just were like, okay, moment of silence happening now. Me and my sister would look at each other because like we wanted to continue our conversation, but we didn't want to be disrespectful, and it just all around did not feel like a very organized moment of silence. But yeah, so after about 4 hours of waiting, they end up canceling our flight, and we're like, fantastic. So we have to call Alaska. Luckily, they're able to like rebook us on another flight that's leaving at 5 p.m. Mind you, our original flight was supposed to leave at like 9 a.m. So we're spending the whole day at this airport, but they were like, don't worry guys, we're gonna cover your meals. Here's a $12 meal voucher. And we're like, great, that can get us some chips and salsa. Yeah, so literally spent the whole day at the airport. It was a whole thing. And like, I know this isn't the worst travel related incident to ever happen on September 11th, but it felt like it for me. That's wrong to say. That was a bad joke. That was in poor taste. Eventually, we end up flying home after literally spending an entire workday at JFK Airport. Also, I have a bone to pick with the food at the JFK Airport. You are like the premier New York airport. Why does your food taste like cardboard? I was just going from place to place trying food just because I had all of the time in the world. Nothing was good. I ordered a mocha that was just straight milk. I got a slice of pizza that tasted like cardboard. Got some chips and guacamole that tasted rotten. I got a watery smoothie. Like John F. Kennedy, probably rolling in his grave, seeing the selection of food at the airport named after him. I don't know if he was a foodie or not, but if he was, he'd be pretty disheartened to see what has become of his airport. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Oh, I've been trying to read more, and lately I've been reading the like A Court of Thorns and Roses series, which like, if you know, you know. It's, if you're a child and you're watching, like maybe don't read it. It's about fairies, but like it's fairy smut. But like the storyline is actually really good. There's a lot of like fairy wars and stuff. But something that I'm noticing is that when I read this book before bed, I dream about it. And so last night, I'm on like the 4th book in the series. I read this before I went to bed. And the last chapter that I read was about like this battle where like someone goes and sneaks off to fight in this battle and they weren't supposed to. And my dream last night was that Oatmeal snuck off to a battle and like didn't tell me. And I didn't find out until he like limped home and he had like a chunk missing out of his side. And like I was distraught because like I don't know how to heal a chunk that's missing from my dog. And like I had this very conflicted feeling. Like I was very proud of him for going into battle, but also pissed because like he doesn't know how to fight. He's the laziest man I know. That's a fool's mission. So I woke up like sweating, tears rolling down my face, like genuinely distraught. Like I had to sit in bed for a moment and remind myself like that didn't actually happen because it felt so real. I feel like I have like the most vivid dreams that like rock me to my core. It's crazy. This is completely unrelated, but I went to Costco yesterday and they have poke now. One thing about me, I eat raw salmon like a bear eats raw salmon. Like mercury poisoning should be afraid of me, you know? I eat so much raw fish. And so I got this like spicy mayo raw salmon poke to die for. I ate half of the tray yesterday. You know, I'm gonna show you because like I'm jonesing for some raw salmon right now. I'm gonna go have some. I'm gonna set you on a chair. This is the salmon. I was not kidding when I said I ate half of it yesterday. So my favorite way to consume it, I take these little seaweed packs. I take a spoon, put it on the salmon, roll it up. The salmon, so fresh. Like, not fishy at all. Which like, I know it sounds like crazy to want fish and then get mad if it tastes fishy, but like that's just what it is. It's got like a good amount of spice to it. And it was 18 bucks for the whole tray of salmon, which is like, that's like pretty good. I can't get enough of this. Oh, my mouth is on fire, but I can't stop. Oh my gosh, also, I ordered these seaweed snacks through a grocery pickup from Safeway. I only ordered 2 packets of them, but my shopper realized that for the same price as it would cost to buy 2 of these individually, you could buy 10. So now I have like an ungodly amount of seaweed, but I'm not mad about it. So friggin' good. A thing of seaweed just like slithered down my throat. Not gonna stop me though. Okay, last one. Cheers. I bought this yesterday. This is all I have left. I'm saving this for a snack for later. Okay, well, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know if you like this style of video or if you hate it. I can take criticism. Oatmeal, you wanna say goodbye? Do I have seaweed in my teeth? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna go deal with that. Okay, bye.